Today's class, we will focus on heap trees. A special kind of complete binary tree. This line is very important, complete binary tree, which will have a key value of the root node, and that is having a special condition with respect to its children. Let us see what is that condition later. So now heap tree is a special kind of complete binary tree. Now, what is the meaning of complete binary tree? A binary tree is called as complete binary tree if all the levels are completely filled except possibly the last level. So you can leave only the last level as partially filled. All the remaining levels should be completely filled. And in the last level also, we should have all the key nodes which are aligned as left as possible. You should not start filling from the right direction. You have to start filling the nodes from the leftmost direction. So if you have anything that is satisfying these two conditions, we will say that the tree is a complete binary tree. And in case of heap trees, we have two conditions. The first condition is the tree must be a complete binary tree. And then second condition is it has to satisfy a property of heap. That we will see what is the heap property. In case of heap tree, we have two types of heap trees. One is called as max heap and the other is known as min heap. So this is the second condition we have in the heap tree. So what is max heap? If you take max heap, the value of the root node will be greater or equal to the either of its children. Okay, so you should not have less value as a root node. The root node can be either greater than the children or it can be even equal to the children, but it cannot be less. Suppose if you have a min tree, min heap, that is different. In case of the min heap, the value of the root node is less than or equal to either of its children. So these are the two different types of heaps we have. Now let us see one example so that you will understand. So here whatever is shown in the left hand side, that is a max heap. First you have to check whether it is following the property of a complete binary tree. So complete binary tree means other than the last level, all the remaining levels must be completely filled. So how to know whether a level is completely filled? We know how many number of nodes we can have at a level in the maximum. The formula is 2 power I. I represents the level. So here this is level 0. In level 0 at the maximum you can have 2 power 0 nodes, that is only one node. Then in level 1 you can have 2 power 1, that is 2 nodes. Okay, now in level 2 maximum you can have 2 power 2, that is 4 nodes. But now this tree is not having 4 nodes, but it is fine. The rule for the complete binary tree is other than the last level, all the remaining levels must be completely filled. So this is last level, that is level 2. All the remaining levels are completely filled. So it is obeying the property. Then another thing is in the last level, all the nodes should be arranged as left as possible. That means you see what nodes you have in the last level. I have two nodes 6 and 5. They are arranged in the leftmost direction. That is 6 and 5 are appearing in the left. Suppose instead of 6 and 5 connected to 8, if you connect 6 and 5 to 7 and leave this 8 as blank, that is wrong. Because the second property is in the last level, all the nodes must be inserted as left as possible. So now this is obeying the property of the complete binary tree. Now you have to check the second property of the heap. This is an example for max heap. That means your root node of any subtree will be having a value greater than or equal to its children. So here 9 is the root node. It has two child nodes 8 and 7. Okay, so now 9 is greater than 8 and 7. So it is correct. Then you check for the next subtree also. 8 is the root node of the next subtree. It is greater than the children, that is 6 and 5. So it is following the rule for the max heap. So this is correct. If you see the min heap, I have taken the same tree structure other than the numbers, everything is same. So it is a complete binary tree now. Now if it is min heap, the condition is slightly different. The root node value will be less than or equal to its children. So here the root node is 1, the value is less than 2 and 3. Then if you consider node 2, for this subtree, 2 is the root node, its value is less than its children, that is 4 and 5. So this is now following the rule of the min heap. Now let us check let us identify whether the following trees are maxip and which are maxip and then which are not maxip. First, let us consider this particular example. Here, totally, I have 7 nodes. If you see, first you have to check whether it is a complete binary tree or not. After that, only you have to check for the maxip condition. When you check the complete binary tree, in level 0, we have 1 node. In level 2, we have level 1, we have 2 nodes. Okay, but in level 3, we have only 2 nodes. It is partially filled, but in level 4 also we started filling. Okay, the rule of the binary tree is other than the last level, all the levels must be completely filled. That means this level should be filled completely, then only you can insert in the next level. But now level 2 is not filled, so it is not a complete binary tree. When it is not a complete binary tree, don't check for the remaining properties. Straightly you can write your answer. It is not a maxip because it is not a complete binary tree. The reason is before filling level 2, level 3 is filled. This now you have to identify whether the following tree is maxip or not. So in this tree, if you consider the level 0 is filled, level 1 is filled, and we have level 2 as partially filled. But even if it is partially filled, all the nodes are filled as left as possible. So it is following the property of a complete binary tree. Once it is following the property of a complete binary tree, then check whether it is following the property of maxip or not. So now maxip means you start with the root node. It is 7. Compare the value of the root node with its children. The children are having the value as 8 and 3. So now if you see here 7 is less than 8. That means it is not a maxip. So now the answer is even though it is a complete binary tree, it is not a maxip because the root node 7, it is not 4. The root node 7 is less than its children. That is one of its children, that is 8. So it is not a maxip. So now you know what is a maxip. Similarly, you can check for the min heap also. Only the difference is instead of checking whether it is greater, we have to check whether it is less. Now, in case of the heap tree, you can perform basically 3 operations. We are going to see them. First, we will see the create. The operations are you can perform create, then insert, and then delete. So let us see what is the meaning of create. Create is nothing but you are going to create your tree. Once you create the tree, in case of insert, you can insert at any position. Then in case of delete, you are going to delete the node from your maxip. So let us focus on create function first. So in case of create, we are going to see how we can create the max heap. The same algorithm you can apply for the min heap with slight modification. So let us focus on the creation of the max heap. So first in the algorithm, we have 4 steps. The first step is you have to create a new node with a given value. After you create the new node, you have to add it at the end of the heap to make it as a complete binary tree. So this is very important. While you are adding, make sure that you are following the rules of a complete binary tree. After you add, then you have to check whether it is max heap or not. So for that, you have to compare the value of this new node with its parent. If the value of the parent is less than the value of this node, then you have to swap the new node with its parent. And sometimes when you are doing the swapping, it may disturb the remaining part of the tree. So it will violate the property of the max heap. So in that case, you have to repeat the same process for the remaining nodes also. So you are going to repeat steps 2 and 3 until the max heap property is completely satisfied for the entire tree. So now let us see how to do the construction with the help of an example. So I have to create a max heap tree with the following nodes. So I have totally 6 nodes. So my first step is I have to create a new node for this 7. So I am creating a node. Here I have shown it as a circle, but actually creating the node means you will create a node for a binary tree with the 2 children and then 1 data field, what we have seen in the previous expression tree. So likewise, you have to create. So to make our process simple, I have shown only the circle here. So construct the root node now. It is 7. Then you take the next node. It is 5. So you have to now add this node. And remember, while you are adding, follow the complete binary tree property. So already level 0 is over. It is having one node. So you have to insert the new node in level 1. In level 1, while you are inserting, make sure that you are inserting it as leftmost as possible. In level 1, we don't have any node. Therefore, we can insert this as a left child for this 7. Right? So now this 5 is a newly added node. It is following now the property of the complete binary tree. Then I have to check whether it is following the heap property. According to max heap, the root node must be a maximum number. So out of these two numbers, the root node 7 is maximum. That means it is correct. So now I have finalized this particular tree. Green color indicates that this is following the property of the max heap. Then take the next node. It is 4. Now where I have to insert 4, level 0 is over. In level 1, I can have maximum of 2 nodes. It is not full. So I can add 4 in level 1. Where I have to add, already 5 is present as a left child for 7. So you have to add node 4 as a right child of 7. So I'm adding node 4 as a right child. After that, you check whether it is following the property of the heap. So check this new node value with its parent. Now new node is less than the parent. That means it is fine. So fix this tree now. It is finalized. Then take the next node from your input, that is 12. Now where to add this 12? Check which levels are filled. Level 0 is filled. Level 1 is also filled. You can't add this 12 to level 1 because at the maximum you can have only 2 nodes at level 1. So go for the level 2. In level 2, you have to insert this in the left as possible. That means I have to insert this 12 only to the node 5. Because if I insert to node 4, that will not be as left as possible. So I have to insert only to the node 5. In node 5, you can insert as either as a right child or as a left child. But you have to insert only as a left child because node 5 is not having any left child so far. So insert this 12 as a left child of node 5. So it is inserted. Then the property of the binary tree is satisfied. Complete binary tree is satisfied. Check the heap property now. 12, I have to compare with its parent 5. So 12 is greater than the parent. It is not allowed. So you swap the values of 12 and 5. So I am swapping 12 and 5. Once you swap the values of 12 and 5, this may disturb the part of the binary tree which is above this 12. So you check this 12 with its parent again. So 12 is now greater than its parent. It is again not allowed. So swap 7 and 12. So now I have swapped. Once you swap like this, no need to continue with the right child. Okay, once you swap for this particular part, now you can check it is following the property of the heap, max heap. So 12 is greater than both its children and 7 is greater than its child. It is having only one child, that is 5. 7 is greater than that. And node 4 is not having any children, so everything is fine. Now go and take the next node. Next node is 18. So insert this as a right child for 7. Now you know why I am inserting as a right child for 7. Then you check the value of this node. 18 is greater than 7. So swap 7 and 18. After that, once you swap, you compare with its parent also. So 18 should be now compared with the 12. 18 is greater than 12. So swap 18 and 12 now. After that, my tree is finalized. So now you can take the next input, it is 20. So now where I have to insert this 20. For 12, both the children are over. So you have to insert 20 only to node 4 as a left child only. So I am going to insert as a left child to node 4. Then check the property of the heap. 20 is greater than 4. So swap 4 and 20. After that, since you have swapped, you have to compare this 20 with its parent also. So 20 is again greater than its parent. So you have to swap 18 and 20. So now your tree is like this. Now this tree is following the property of the max heap. So whatever inputs are given to us, for that we have constructed a max heap tree. Now, so the process of inserting a node in a max heap is similar to the process of create only. So let us see the algorithm. First, you are going to create a new node, what you want to insert with a given value. After that, add it at the end of the heap to make it as a complete binary tree. Then you compare the value of this new node with its parent. If the value of the parent is less than this new node, you swap them. And then you have to repeat the steps 2 and 3 until the max-heap property is satisfied for the entire tree. It is same as the algorithm of the create. Now let us see how to insert node 35 to the previous tree. So we had the previous tree up to node 4. Now I want to insert node 35. So first you will insert node 35 as a right child of node 18 because that level is not yet filled. So after inserting, I have to compare this 35 and then 18. 35 is greater than 18. So I am going to swap them. Then again, I have to compare 35 with its parent. Its parent is 20, which is less than 35. So again, I have to swap them. So now the tree is a complete binary tree with max-heap property. So we are going to see how to delete a node from the heap tree. And in case of the heap tree, whether it is a max heap or min heap, the deletion of the node will always happens at the root node. And we try to remove the maximum node or otherwise minimum value from the heap tree. We never try to delete other nodes from the heap, even that is possible, but our aim is to delete the node with maximum or minimum value from the heap. And let us see the algorithm for that. So whenever you want to delete a node from the max heap, they will not mention which node you are going to delete because we are going to remove only the root node. So the first step in the algorithm is remove the root node. And after removing the root node, move the last element from the last level to the root node. Then once you do that, you have to compare the value of this root node with its children. Since you have moved the last element, it will not be obeying the property of the heap tree. So you have to compare the value of that node with its children. And one of the children will be having a larger value. So you have to check out of the two child nodes, whichever is having larger value, you have to select that. And then you have to swap that children with the root node. And this process is for max heap only. If it is min heap, you will be selecting the children with a lower value. But here we are focusing on the max heap. So I am selecting a child node with the largest value. Then I have to swap that node with the larger child node. Then once you do the swapping, again, it will be disturbing the max heap property in the remaining part of the tree. So you have to repeat the steps 3 and 4 until the max heap property is satisfied for the entire tree. So these are the steps in the algorithm. So now let us see one example. So this is a max heap tree given to me. And if you look at the tree, the root node is 55. It is greater than both of his children. So 50 and 45 are the child nodes of 55. They are smaller than 55. Similarly, the subtree, in every subtree, the root node will be having a value greater than its children. So this will be true for the entire tree of your max heap. Now I need to delete a node from the max heap. So first I can delete only the root node. So I'm going to delete 55. So what is the step now? Once I delete 55, I have to take the smallest node from this max heap, which will be available in the last level as a rightmost node. Okay, so go to the last level in your max heap, take the node at the rightmost level. This node you have to swap with the root node because you're going to delete the root node. So now I'm going to take 17. I have to place it in the place of 55. I'm going to delete 55, right? So now after that step is over, my 17 will come here. Now I have removed 55 because that is a root node. I have deleted it. So this is a process we have to do. So our job is over, but you can't leave the tree as such because our tree should be a max heap. Now, if you look at the tree, 17 is the root node, but it is less than its children. 50 and 45 are greater than 17. So you can't leave the tree as such because it is violating the property of the max heap. So what you have to do is you have to look at the child nodes of this 75 and choose the child node which is having the largest value. So out of 50 and 45, 50 is largest. So I have to select that. So now 50 is selected. Then what is my next step? I have to exchange 50 and 17 because this 17 is now a newly added node. It is violating the property. So I have to exchange this 17 and 50. So when I do that, 17 is coming here and 50 is occupying the root position. Once you do the exchange, this 50 will occupy its final position. We will see through the further tracing. So this 50 has occupied its final position. So you can fix that. Then now we have exchanged 17 here. This 17 is again added newly in this part of the subtree. So you have to check whether it is following the property of the heap. So compare 17 with its child nodes. So I'm comparing with 40 and 27. It is less actually. So I have to exchange now. So I have to first select the candidate for the exchange. So out of 40 and 27, 40 is the largest one. So I have to select 40, then exchange 40 with 17. So now they are exchanged. Once you exchange 40 and 17, 40 will occupy its final position. So you can fix it. So after that, this 17 is now newly added in this part of the subtree. So you check whether it is following the property of the max heap. Again, I have to compare 17 with its children. It is having only one child node, that is left child. Left child is 20, that is greater than 17. So I have to exchange now 17 and 20. So I am doing the exchange. After the exchange, 20 has occupied its final position. Now you have to compare 17 with this children if it is existing. But 17 is the leaf node now. It is not having any child nodes. So what I have to do is I have to finalize the position of 17 also. So now it is finalized. So this is the deletion process. So we have started with the deletion of the root node only. But after deleting the root node, we can't leave as such. We have to check in every step whether the property of the heap is satisfied or not. And if you see the tracing process, in case of the deletion of the max heap, it involves bubbling down of the nodes. What is the meaning of this? Let us go to the previous slide so that you will understand. So now I have started with 17. I first exchanged 17 with 55, the root node. Now you look at how this 17 is moving to occupy its final position. First, 17 is now at the top of the root. In the next iteration, 17 has come to this particular position. It is coming down the tree. And after that, in the next iteration, the 17 is occupying here. So in this, it is coming to the next level. And then in the next iteration, 17 will come to the last level. So this 17 is at the top of the tree after the root is deleted. Then in every iteration, it is going one level in the tree. So it is going down. So we will say that deletion of a node from the max heap involves bubbling down of the nodes. And after the deletion of the root node is over, what you can comment about the newly created max heap is, when the root element 55 is deleted, the next largest element 50 becomes a new root. So here, now the new root is 50. If you look at the remaining elements of this max heap, 50 is the largest element as of now. So you can say that in every deletion, the next largest element will be becoming as a new root node. So this is the beauty of the max heap. If you consider min heap, every time you will start at the root node, you will delete the root node. And in every deletion, the next minimum node will become the root of the tree. So this will be followed in all the deletions. Let us see one more example so that you will understand in detail. So I want to delete one more element. So out of this tree, which element I can delete now is again the root node, that is 50. So I'm going to delete 50. So I have to select a candidate now. So what I'm doing, I'm looking at the last level of my complete binary tree. In that, I have to look at the node which is at the rightmost level. Actually, this 17 is now at the rightmost level because it is only one node in that level. Okay, so or you can say that you select the node in the last level and that node should be the last node in the last level. If there are many nodes, you select the last node which is at the rightmost level, rightmost side. Okay, so now I am selecting the node 17. I have to now remove the root node 50, then place 17 as the root node. So that is the first step. So I'm removing the root node, then I'm placing 17 there. Then it is now going to violate the property of the max heap. So what I have to do now, out of the children, you select the node with the largest value, that is 45. So now I have to exchange 17 and 45. So after the exchange is over, 45 will occupy its final position, but 17 is not occupying its final position. So 17 is now moving down, bubbling down. It has to come to its final position. So for that, again, compare 17 with its children again, because it is now the root of a new subtree. So you compare with its children again. So now out of the two child nodes, 41 is the largest one. So I am going to exchange 17 and 41. So after the exchange is over, 41 will occupy its final position, but now 17 is occupying the root of a new subtree. Now in that tree, again you have to check the property of the max heap. But this 17 is a leaf node, it is not having any children. So what you can do, you can stop your process. Because whenever it is the root of a subtree, at that time only you have to check whether it is following the property in that particular subtree. But now 17 is a leaf node, so no need to check anything. So now 17 has occupied its final position. So now in our second deletion, what we have done is we have started with the root element 50 and we have deleted it. After the deletion is over, the next largest element 45 will become the new root. So in every delete operation, you will delete the maximum element which is available at the root, and after that the next largest element will occupy the root position of your max heap. So this property is holding true for all the max heap. Now let us see the applications of the heap tree. So heap tree is used in the implementation of priority queues. So in unit 2, we have seen queues and different types of queues. And in that, we have seen that a priority queue can be implemented in 3 different methods. One is array-based implementation, and then linked list-based implementation, and then heap-based implementation. So that only we are going to focus here. So we generally use the heap tree for the implementation of the priority queue. So you know that queue works on the principle of first in, first out. That is, whichever element has occupied the queue first, that will be deleted from the queue first. But our priority queue will not work like that. It is a special type of queue. You can say that it is an extension of a queue. It has some property. So when you are inserting any element to the priority queue, every element will have a priority associated with it. And when you are removing the elements from the queue, you have to remove the element according to the priority only. You can't remove any element as such. You have to look at the priority. Whichever is having highest priority, that should be deleted first from the queue. And then the next highest priority element will be deleted. Likewise, you will be deleting all the elements one by one, irrespective of in which order they are inserted into the queue. The order of insertion may be different, but order of deletion will be entirely based upon the priority only. So whichever is having highest priority, that will be removed first. So how to implement that priority queue? So let us see how we can implement the priority queue with the help of a heap tree. So in case of the priority queue, I told that you have to remove the element with the higher priority first. What is the meaning of higher priority? So there are two notations available. In one notation, you can say that the larger the number, higher the priority. Or in the other notation, generally people will follow when the number is smaller, it represents higher the priority. So you have two different ways of the priority representation. In one way, when the number is larger, you can say it is the highest priority. Like our marks, when our marks are more, then we will say that we got the first rank. Okay. Whereas in the second approach, we will say when the number is smaller, that is the highest priority. That means like our rank. When our rank is 1, that is the highest priority when compared to rank 45. So we have two different ways of implementation. And when we implement priority queues using array or linked list, we have the drawback. So what is the drawback is, look at this particular queue. Here I have totally 6 elements. And I am assuming that it is, when the number is larger, it is representing higher priority. So when I want to delete elements from this particular queue, first I have to delete 20. Then I have to delete 18, then 12, and then 7, then 5, and then 4. It is different when compared to the order of insertion. Order of insertion of elements are 7, 5, 4, 12, 18, and 20. But order of deletion is based upon the priority. I am assuming that here the number is representing the priority. Sometimes you can have number as a separate entity and priority as a separate entity. That is also possible. But now I am assuming the number is representing the priority. Here 20 is the largest number. That means it should be deleted first. When I delete by means of the array, when the element is appearing in the middle, you have to search through the entire array. You have to find out which is having the highest priority. Then you have to delete it. After you delete, you have to move the remaining elements to their final position. For example, let us assume that the 20 is in between. It is here. Okay, when I delete 20, I have to first search for 20 because I don't know where is the maximum priority element available. So I have to first search for the entire array to check 20. Then I have to delete 20. After I delete 20, I have to move the remaining elements to this particular position because in the array, all the elements should be stored in continuous memory locations. You can't leave any memory location as free. So you have to move the remaining elements to this particular location. It is going to consume our time. So we don't want to follow the array-based implementation. For that only, if you assume larger number represents larger priority, you go for max heap implementation. Because just now we have seen in the deletion of the max heap that every time when you delete the root node, the largest number will be deleted from the max heap. Okay, after the largest number is deleted, the next largest number will become the new root. So if you want to delete the second element, again delete that new root so that you will be deleting the second largest number from your priority queue. Okay, so this is how you can implement the priority queue with the help of max heap. Similarly, you can implement priority queue with the help of a min heap also. So in which condition you will use min heap? So you will use min heap if your smaller number represents higher priority. Because in case of the min heap, the root will be the smallest number in that particular tree. So when you want to delete, you have to delete the smallest number because that is having the highest priority. So simply delete the root node. Once you delete the root node, according to this diagram, if I delete the root node 4, the next root node will be 5 because that is the next smallest number. So next time when you want to remove another element, you can delete that particular root node. So you can implement priority queues either by using max heap or otherwise by using min heap. Now let us see the memory representation of the binary heap tree. So in heap, we have different types of heap. Now we are focusing only on the binary heap. Binary heap means every node will have only 2 children at the maximum. It will have either 0 or 1 or 2 children. So maximum number of children for any node is 2. That's why we say it is a binary heap tree. So how to represent this binary heap tree in the memory? A binary heap tree is represented in the memory as a one-dimensional array. And the representation is done as follows. We are focusing on the C programming. In C programming, the array index starts with 0. So we are assuming that the root of the heap is stored at the index 0. Then if you know the index of any node, let us assume that the index of a node is I, then the left child of that node will be stored at the index 2i plus 1, and then right child of the node will be stored at the index 2i plus 2, because we are going for the array-based representation. And sometimes you may need to find the parent of that particular node also. So if a node is at index I, its parent will be available at the index floor of I minus 1 by 2. So now these are the basic things we have seen in the array representation of normal binary tree. The same is applicable for the heap also. And since the tree is complete binary tree, in case of max heap or min heap, your tree must be a complete binary tree. That is the first condition we have seen. So since your tree is a complete binary tree, we will not have any free space in the middle of the array. Right? So whenever you see the complete binary tree, all the nodes will be sequentially stored. For example, this is the root node. The root node is stored at the index 0. And its children will be stored at the index 1 and 2 respectively. The left child will be stored at the index 1 and right child will be stored at the index 2, because we got using this formula. Then 22 is available at the index 1. Its left child will be stored at the index 3 and right child will be stored at the index 4. Then 33 is available at the index 2. It is having only left child. So that will be stored at the index 5. Now, in case of a heap tree, can I remove this 55 alone? Can I say if 55 is not present in the tree, can I say that is a heap tree? No. because according to the definition of a heap tree, your heap tree must be a complete binary tree. That means all the levels other than the last level should be completely filled. Then in the last level, all the nodes should be as left as possible. So if you remove alone 55 alone, then this 66 is not as left as possible since this space is free. So what you can observe from the memory representation of binary heap tree is, if you start with the index 0, starting from 0 till some maximum index, all the nodes will be present. You will not have any free space in the middle of the memory representation of the binary tree. So whenever you delete any element or whenever you insert any element to the max heap, again the same rule will be holding. So there will not be any free space during the insertion or during the deletion. So that's why we prefer the array implementation of binary array implementation for the binary heap tree.